Hello and welcome to the Early Years Staff Meeting Podcast with Sarah, Keely and Steph, the place where you can listen, learn and laugh with us about all things early years.
Hello.
You sound very sexy, Sarah.
I am very sexy this week, everybody. I have had laryngitis and I lost my voice for a while, which is why we haven't recorded for a little bit. And it's come back like a man. So, yes, I sound a bit like a teenage boy, so it might go in and out of...
It might be a bit squeaky.
Might be a bit squeaky, a bit low, but yes, we're just going with it.
We are. So today we are going to start with our apologies. And then our main agenda today is talking about routines. And we're going to start looking at routines because it's quite a big topic. So it will probably carry on to another episode. We were going to have some staff CPD, but we're going to put that onto the next episode as well. So we're going to finish with a mindful moment today.
So we also have we have an apology, don't we? Because there's just two of us today.
Yeah, we're missing the stealth.
We're missing the stealth. We're missing our Keely. We had a bit of scheduling issues.
It's just been mad, and it's just been a crazy time, and we just couldn't find time for us all three to record together. But we really wanted to, get an episode out because we know it had been a few weeks. So
yeah, and we've been promising for ages to do routines, so we want to make good on our word.
So sorry, Keely, we miss you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one or hearing you in the next one.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready? Main agenda. So today is, like we said, is all about routine. So let's talk about why. Why do we have routines? Why do we need routines? Why do we not just wing it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I do wing it.
I feel like I do as well. The queen of wing sometimes. But it's always around a routine, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you have the routine and you have it established, then the children know where they stand, the adults know where they stand.
Exactly.
And it just helps with a range of things within your setting.
It helps make everyone feel secure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes away some of that anxiety and like mental overload as well. Like that, we've done tidy up time, something new is going to come next. It might be we go to lunch, or we might have phonics. It's that transitioning. It helps children and adults to feel secure and stop mental overload, which is quite easily to happen in early years.
I mean, talk about mental overload. We've got that end of half term feel this week, haven't we? Because it's just been, we've just had everything. We've had parents' evening, we've had appraisals, pupil progress meetings. We had our subject leader reports or milestones or something.
Parents coming in and out for visiting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So if it wasn't for our routine, I guess from our point of view, it takes away the unknown, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so you've got your routines in place, and as an adult that helps. So for the children, it's taking away that unknown and helping them to just feel safe and secure until they know what's coming next.
I think just as humans, just as that's part of our nature, is to have a routine. And actually, I've known that sometimes I'll say something and the children will finish off my sentences because I say the same thing at the same time every day. Yeah. I haven't even realised it, but that's just, we're creatures of habit.
We are. And anything that throws us from our routine is really, it does, like things like the clock, when the clocks go back.
Oh, I hate that.
Or
my children never sleep for ages.
Even a bank holiday. Even the bank holiday, you think, great, it's a 4-day week or whatever, but it actually makes it worse because you're out of your usual routine. So we are, and today we've had a day in school, haven't we, that's been out of our routine.
Yeah, we've had school photos. That's been amazingly stressful.
So we've had to be organising, especially in nursery where you have children that don't always attend. So you have to invite them in, and then you have to match them up with their sibling to make sure they get the sibling photo. Parents asking me to make sure their hair's styled nicely. I'm like, I'll try my absolute best to make sure, they've got their hair parted in the right place. But today's been a fine example of why it's really important
and
to stick to routines.
And it's knowing when we have days like this, I've had to strip things back a little bit and not do so much cognitive load on the children and adults, because I didn't think I could take much more today. Okay, so that is the why. So how do we create routines within our settings? And we all do it, and sometimes you have probably created one without even knowing that you have. So we have a big talk about routines, don't we, at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
We have sort of a think about what worked well last year, think about the year group that's coming in, what are their needs, what do we need to put in place for them? And it's just looking at your timetable and thinking, when's a good place to have phonics? When's a good place to have snack? When's a good place to open the door to have free flow play? It's you just, and that is a staff thing you need to have together as a team.
And it's got to work, hasn't it, for your setting, and also the expectations within your setting. I think we're very fortunate that we are allowed to spend majority of our day in free flow in our setting, and I know that it's not always the case. Having been to other settings, worked in other settings, it's not always the case. It can be a lot more broken up, but then what you're missing out on is that extended play. We're quite precious over that, and we do sort of put a fence around it all the time, but sometimes things do eat into it, and sometimes they have to for whatever reason. And it's about having a conversation with staff and the children. Actually today this is going to be a bit different, or we're going to start doing this from now on. So it's, again, that's about prepping, isn't it? And it's that pre-warning, isn't it? If you know, well, tomorrow's going to be a little bit different, because can you just preempt that for the children, so it makes it that little bit easier for them. So the way that we've kind of work our sort of daily routine is when the children come in, not so much in nursery at the moment, but in reception, you'll deliver some sort of input. So after they've settled in, which is about getting all that niggling, children coming in, parents having a chat to you at the door. Once that's over and everyone's calm, we go into have carpet time, that's what we call it, and that's where we deliver a skills-based 10-15 minutes where we'll teach them a skill that's linked to something in the provision, or maybe it's a knowledge-based skill that they need, and they're all mapped out. So so we know where we are with that. Again, that's part of the routines, is being organised as well. And then it's into free flow. The doors open. What's your very beginnings like, Steph? Well, at the moment in nursery, we have more of a sort of a soft start to the day. So the children just come in and straight away they'll get involved in play. However, I have been experimenting a little bit with just stopping them just before we do, because what was happening was we were sort of closing the doors, and sometimes the children have already been in the classroom for a little while, and it's almost like you just need that reset of, this is the school day now, and we need to remember our rules, especially when we're trying so hard to reinforce all those basics in nursery. So I have been experimenting this week with just stopping them for 5 minutes. They tidy away and they come on the carpet for 5 minutes, just so I can remind them of just all those basics. And then what that eventually will lead to is the same, is a skills teaching. But at the moment, it's sort of limited what we're doing in the carpet. And then we are on to free flow again. So with the doors open and the children have free flow of indoors and outdoors. And we have
they're like that for about, I want to say, an hour and 45 minutes, nearly 2 hours.
I think it is closer to 2 hours in Cherry. We don't, you go in a little bit before us, don't you? Yeah, because we have to fit in phonics. So we go in for, I think it's 15 minutes before you. So it's, again, an hour and 45. And then we do phonics for
Well, at the minute it's about 5-7 minutes.
Is it?
But we build up to about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It depends how, on the children's concentration needs.
Yeah.
And then we do what we call get ready for lunch. And that is a very I'd say it's probably the worst transition time of the whole day, because you've got children on the carpet waiting to go to the toilet to wash their hands, which obviously is incredibly important. But there's about 10-15 minutes of holding time where you might be doing an activity, you might be singing, you might be reading a story. Sometimes we just put on good old CBeebies bedtime stories.
Yeah.
It depends on the staffing.
I think, it is a tricky time of the day. I was going to say probably home times.
Yeah, it's equally.
I've always struggled with the home time routine. I've never nailed it. But that is a tricky time of the day. And the children start to get a little bit hangry at that time as well, don't they?
They do. They know you're washing your hands for a reason. It's food, and they get really agitated because they just can't wait. And same with staff.
They're just waiting for their break.
They are, yeah. So that is a very tricky transition time. And then when they get in the hall, it starts off okay, and then the noise levels get a bit louder. They have their lunch, they finish eating after about 15 minutes, wolf it down, and then they're back outside playing. And we repeat that whole routine again, except after lunch they come in and do some math skills for 10-15 minutes, free flow, tidy up, end of day. So it's very repetitive.
Yeah. And there's safety in that repetitiveness, isn't there, for the children? Yeah. I mean, we're very similar in nursery. The only difference being that we don't go into the hall for our lunch. So we have our lunch. The children bring packed lunches in our nursery, and it's actually because the staff, as I've sort of said before, they're really established staff. They've been here for years, and they just have everything nailed, like they have it under control. So. It's literally amazing because the classroom gets changed into lunch club and the tables get wheeled out, and it's amazing. And so for me, that lunchtime routine is actually it's easier because the children just go and wash their hands and they come and sit down and have their lunch straight away. So there's no sort of waiting around or anything. Then we'll go into, once they finish their lunch, they go and play again, and the whole thing starts again. But what I'm really struggling with my nursery children is just that end of the day. I find that really hard because they've got to gather up all their bits, and they just find that so hard.
And do you have them all on your little carpet area?
Yeah, most of the children are on the carpet, and it is meant to, like you say, it's meant to be like a story or singing time, but sometimes we just have to put something on the screen just to hold them while we can then individually say, right, you need to go and get all your things, because they're still learning that routine of I've got to go and get my coat, I've got to go and get my bag, I've got to go and check my drawer, and it's just repeating that every day. And I know by Christmas they'll have nailed it. But it is just that you've got to keep at it. You've got to keep trying, keep persevering, don't give up, because it feels like chaos now. But
there is light at the end of the tunnel.
There is, yeah.
So I think how we implement those routines, because it doesn't always, like you said, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It will get better if you persist and are consistent. That is also very key, is the consistency. But we do have the good old visual timetables.
Yeah, absolutely.
and that is, I know that they are, wheeled out quite a lot, and sometimes they don't always work. But for general routines, to have them on large scale, at the front of your class where you mainly sit and gather together is very important, that children can see those, especially if they have language skills that are not quite developed, or their listening attention is not so great. They can just look and they instantly know where we are. And we have them on Velcro, don't we, like you're supposed to?
So you can move around and change it as you need to. I use that a lot with my nursery children who are just, getting used to separating some of them from their parents. They don't know when it's home time, so it's just showing them, look, we've got a little bit more play, then we'll sit on the carpet. Yeah, and they can sort of count the cards, how many cards there are until mummy comes or daddy comes. Yeah, so it is really important. And something else we've done as a key stage is to be consistent with those symbols. So now every classroom has the same.
Yeah, they do.
Has the same images, and they do in, you know, Key Stage 1 and beyond as well. We have slightly different ones because, you know, our session names are different, but it is important because then whatever class they go in, especially if they're free flowing, they've got that visual cue.
Another thing that I know that you love to do is singing.
I do like a little bit of singing.
You love a welcome song, don't you, my lovely? I won't make you sing it. But we do that, and we do a goodbye song as well, because it's that welcoming children in. Yeah. It's the saying goodbye. Yeah. Which some children do find really difficult, those goodbyes, and it's just rounding up that session, isn't it, and saying goodbye.
Yeah, so it's just doing those, as long as you remember to do them and don't forget, oh no, we haven't done the goodbye song. But if you do them enough, I get children going, I haven't done the goodbye song, and I'll go, right, ready, really quickly, 3, 2, 1, go. So once they learn the routine, they sort of keep you on check. Yeah, and it's like in the morning having that routine of like, you know, we're going to sing this song, and then we're going to do, you know, the calendar. We're going to look at the calendar. We're going to talk about what the weather's like, and then we're going to look at our visual timetable, and then we're going to look at our self-registration or whatever it is. So you have the same steps every day, and it can, you know, it can vary. It can go off on a tangent. That's fine, but it's just that security for the children. Like you say, it's just taking away that cognitive overload, because they are used to that, so they can actually focus on the content.
A thing that I've started this year, which I have done it in previous years, but I've made more of it, is a month to view calendar.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And crossing out the days we're not here, so half terms and weekends. And then we've created symbols in class as a group. We've decided, because I have staff coming in and out on different days, and I have a student when she's in, when she's not. And so we've created those as a class, and I've drawn those on the calendar so that children know who's in and who's out. Today I had to put a picture of a camera because we had school photos, but they knew that was coming because we've done that a month to view.
I think I'm going to do that in nursery. I do think I've seen I've seen it up in your classroom, and it's also really good for maths.
Amazing for maths.
The time and
it is. It is. I would say it's actually better than doing I do have a calendar that says what day is it today, what date is it. It's kind of meaningless to them, but the symbols are not, because they've created those symbols. Yeah. So I just have a smiley face with the first letter of someone's name, and that's when who's in. And
I saw that, and I did wonder what it meant.
Yeah, but to the children it makes sense. Yeah. And that's the main thing. But again, people can ask those questions, and that's all about.
Yeah. You know. Well, I'm definitely gonna.
You're gonna magpie it.
I'm gonna magpie that.
Yeah. Staff modelling. So this is really important. We use a lot of sign language, don't we?
Yes.
And we use we make sure that our staff are using sign language, and the sign for next is we use that a lot for routine. So children might get really upset, and we'll say next, and we'll do the sign. This is coming up, and actually that's really because the staff have modelled it so much. The children are now using it. That sign for next is a great deal to those children. It's comforting. They know what's going to come next. For our children with SEN, that is really powerful to them. So I would definitely advise start learning sign language. BSL, some councils have their own specialised form of sign language that have been created. You can buy schemes, all sorts. Makaton, I would say that's been quite revolutionary, just for many things, not just routines, but sign language.
It's another podcast, I think.
It is definitely another podcast.
One thing we sort of didn't mention was about snack time, the whole debate.
Every year, snack time. Wow. The amount of, I wouldn't like to call them arguments, professional discussions. Snack is very difficult.
It's a contentious issue, isn't it?
It is.
That is a word.
And the new guidelines have made it quite clear that children should be sitting down, children should be supervised within adults' earshot. It's, at the moment we do a rolling snack. So what that means is snack is out in a special area in all the classrooms. Children come, get their own snack. and hopefully tidy it away. We're still working on that. But so that is a rolling snack. Now, I can remember in the distant past, we had 10 o'clock as snack time. We had to stop what we were doing, down tools, come together, do like a circle time, which was actually, in hindsight, did develop a lot of talk and a lot of speech for children. There's definitely pros and cons.
There is,
it's very difficult.
It's having the rolling snack. It still allows for that social side.
It does.
And it does develop their social skills and their independence and
their fine motor
their autonomy
skills.
Of if I'm actually hungry, do I want do I want my snack now, or do I want it at the end of the day or whatever? And I used to have a little bunch of children that every day that would be the first thing they did last year.
And it was comforting to them to know.
And it was just lovely because they'd have they'd have a lovely chat at the table. And that was what they did every day. They just sort of come in and had their snack straight away.
And that's a lovely way to start your day, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's always a big debate because I think some settings, especially where you have younger children as well, would find the managing of it. So supervising the children, but also ensuring that children with allergies are being safely exposed to the right things. I can see why a lot of settings don't go down the rolling snack route. No. But for us, it works.
It does. Depends on the cohort, I'd say. Sometimes it's been trickier to implement it. It's taken a lot longer to get that routine of snack. Depends on the cohort, but it has always panned out.
Yeah.
And everyone's always been fed and watered and they've stayed safe. So
yeah,
it has worked.
Yeah. And, it's that you get so many opportunities in the snack time as well for maths again. Like it's another one of those routines. There's so many routines that are really good for building maths.
It is,
in the classroom.
It's like routine within a routine, like choosing time and then having snack within that is another routine.
It is. It is. It's very meta.
Okay. So moving on from that, next week we will go into sort of more specific areas of routines.
Yeah.
But moving on now, we will be having... Is it mindful moment?
Well, it is, because we were meant to be hearing all about Keely's sound bath.
Can I just say, it flashed up on my my phone that Jim Carrey went to a sound bath at the weekend, and all these people were taking pictures of him because he was like randomly in England doing a sound bath.
Oh my God, imagine if it was
Keely. I don't think it was. I think she'd done hers previous. But I just thought, the celebs are definitely on it.
You heard it here first. That was an earlier staff meeting. Exclusive. I think
Jim Carrey loves the sound bath. I still don't know what it is.
No, but so we'll just have to wait for that little bit of CPD from Keely next podcast. So we are just going to do the mindful moment today, and today we're going to talk about our guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures, yeah. I think as teachers, we all need a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, like a relax. I'm thinking like, what's your relaxation guilty pleasure? Like, what is it you do just to switch off?
Yeah.
Something mind-numbing.
We need to clarify that about pleasure.
I mean, we're not making any like judgments about people's lifestyles here or preferences. It's just, we're thinking of it on a much more wholesome. What do you do to switch off on a week like this week where you just, when you get home and you have nothing left to give?
I remember it needs to try and be healthy. So hitting the bottle of wine, as much as that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Think about how many times you're hitting that bottle of wine. Is that being healthy? Is that healthy choices? So do you want to start, Steph?
Well, I don't know if this is healthy though. It's very unhealthy. But I get a little bit addicted to games, like on my phone, like silly, or a healthier way of doing it would be to be like doing crossword puzzles and things like that. But I get addicted to these silly games, and then what happens is I download them, I get addicted to them. And then I realise I'm addicted to them, so then I have to delete them. I have to cull them from my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've got one at the moment that I've downloaded, and I know it's on borrowed time because I'm too invested in this game. I keep playing it, and I'm just wasting
Do you pay,
too
or are they
much time.
free?
No, it's like free, but if something's free, you're the consumer, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're what's being bought. So it's like they're trying to get you to pay like 99p to get extra lives and things like that.
To get the adverts taken
watch this
off
advert to get to get a life. And so I do realise it's not particularly a healthy guilty pleasure, but I just feel that sometimes it's just completely mind zapping, and sometimes that's what you need.
It's actually mindfulness, because you're in that moment and you're only thinking about the next go or the next play of that game. You're not thinking about anything else around you.
I will call it mindfulness. Yes.
But that is what it is. Whether it's healthy or not, it depends how much screen time you're having.
Exactly. And what's your guilty pleasure then,
I
Sarah?
am actually really embarrassed about saying this.
Is this healthy?
It's not healthy at all. I absolutely love watching the Kardashians, and this is a recent thing. So I don't watch Love Island, I don't watch Big Brother, I don't watch any reality TV other than the Kardashians that's on Disney.
Yep.
Yeah, so the newer ones, not any of the old stuff, only this since it started.
Not keeping up with the Kardashians.
Not keeping up, just the Kardashians. And I have been absolutely hooked by it. My husband has caught me watching it and has been absolutely shocked at my behaviour. But I also have another guilty pleasure, is because I absolutely am in love with Travis Barker.
So is that the reason you watch it?
I think it was the hook. It was the draw into it, because I still do love Blink-182, but that was the draw for me, and I've absolutely got...
But now you're invested in it.
I'm absolutely invested, and it's happening every Thursday. A new episode drops.
Oh, that's a nice little Thursday treat.
I'm just like, so after parents' evening tomorrow, I'll be thinking, I've got to get home, I just need to watch the Kardashians. I cannot believe it's coming out of my mouth, but it is.
I know, I mean... It surprises me, really.
Exactly, I know. I know, I could be doing something really wholesome, like crocheting or...
But you do all that anyway, don't you?
I do, but this is my guilty pleasure.
Well, we've earned it. We've earned it this half term.
This week, this half term definitely has been very hard.
Yeah.
But we've made it.
We have.
We made it.
We're almost
Your
there.
first half term in nursery.
I know. It's amazing.
You survived.
I have. And season 2 of the podcast, or series 2.
I know.
We're rolling with it. Yeah.
So next time we'll be delving in deeper into routines and giving some more advice on certain aspects of routines. But hopefully we'll have our lovely Keely back. Yeah, hopefully, because we've missed her. So sending love to you, Keels. Yeah, hope you listen. I wonder if she even listens. I wonder if she'll listen. I don't know if she'll listen. She might not. We'll have to test her. We'll say something. Yeah. Right then. All right, everyone. Don't forget, I didn't say this last time, but please, 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 we're trying to get our, our algorithm, up. So we're trying to get more people to engage with our content. So please, please, please go to find us on, our Instagram page. Yeah. The earlier staff meeting. Just type that in. We will be there. We need to get on to doing some more posts. Yeah, I think we are going to start producing a bit more material and ideas and things, and actually some photos and things of our... That would be really lovely. I think that would be really helpful for people. Yeah. But I would love to be able to, use your views and say, oh, actually, this person anonymously has said this. Yeah. Let's talk about that. I'd love to be able to do that. So please, listeners, please. If you've got anything you want to bring to the staff meeting, if you'd really just let us know. Yeah, we'd love to be able to do that. By 8 a.m. on Wednesday, and then we'll be able to include it. We would absolutely love that. Yeah. So, please head on down to Instagram and, and also like our podcast, because we've had a lot of listeners recently, and we've had quite a few likes. But keep it up. That just really helps us. It means the world. It does mean the world. Yeah. Okay, right. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, take
Hopefully,
care.
I won't sound so sexy.
Well, maybe some people will be back
you might
in the
get it
home.
next.
It might be their guilty pleasure.
All right then.
See you
soon.
later.
Bye.
Bye.